I apologize for the tapping. That is me moving things on my phone. So let's take a look here at the difference between service animals, therapy animals, and emotional support animals. So here we go. Is legally okay, so a service dog, a therapy animal, and an emotional support animal is legally allowed to accompany the handler in stores and restaurants, libraries, etc. So the service dog is a yes, they can do that. Therapy dogs, no, they cannot. Emotional support animals, no. Must be allowed to live with their owners, even where there is no pet policies. Service dog, yes. Therapy animal, no. Emotional support, yes. Can fly in the cabin of a plane with a handler. Service dog, yes. Therapy dog, no. And emotional support, yes. As long as the dog is well behaved as an emotional support animal, they can sit in the cabin with you. Must be able to tolerate novel environments, experiences, and interactions. So, service dog, yes. Therapy dog, yes. Emotional support animal, no. Emotional support animals do not have to deal with the public, and they should not deal with the public, especially since most emotional support animals are not trained. They are trained to regular pet standards. Some people do go back, do train their emotional support animals, and that's great. But it's usually regular obedience. Sorry, I apologize. My brain skips a few beats when I'm speaking. Yeah, the emotional support animals, I will get to them eventually. But let's continue reading this. Okay, so is especially trained to help handler with tasks the handler cannot perform due to a specific disability. Service dog, yes. Therapy dog, no. Emotional support dog, no. Is trained to provide comfort to many others, at the handler's direction. Service dog, no. Therapy dog, yes. Emotional support animal, no. Primary function is to provide general emotional comfort to the handler only. Service dog, no. Therapy dog, no. And emotional support animal, yes. So comfort and let's just say providing comfort is not a task, which is what people who misrepresent emotional support animals as service dogs, that's usually their excuse for bringing their ESA in to a store or something or a public place they shouldn't be in. They're will ask what their task is, and they'll probably just say comfort. That is not a task, and getting them to sit on your lap is not a task. That's not a task at all. If you do have a problem like I do with complex PTSD, you can get the dog to perform a task, which is deep pressure therapy, which is, it's not sitting on your lap, but it's a dog that will lay across your chest or lay across your body or lay across your legs, as I prefer, and they will apply their full body weight, and they will calm your nervous system and lower your blood pressure and whatnot. That's just the simple way of explaining it. There's a much technical, logical way of explaining that. What? Can I help you? Why are you whining? You're interrupting the video. Thank you. Sorry, my husky mute had to put her 2 cents in. Hello. But anyway, let's get back to this. So, must wear specific identifying gear or special identifying gear. Service dog, no. Therapy dog, yes. Emotional support, absolutely not. Service dogs, that's also another thing handlers probably argue with the most with business owners, is the fact that we do not have to have our dogs vested. We don't have to have any identification besides their identification certified card that they come with. But no, we don't have to have our dogs in a harness. We don't have to have them lit up like a Christmas tree to represent them as a service dog. The behavior and the tasking of a service dog should represent it enough, in my opinion. But absolutely not. You do not need a service dog vest to represent your service dog. Like I said, it's not needed. But people argue that, and that's part of our issues. But I'll get back to that in another video, probably the equipment video. But so emotional support animals, let's go on to them. So emotional support animals, I do have, there we go. Here's some 5 important facts about emotional support animals. So again, they can be used for depression, anxiety, PTSD. So that's great. You can get a dog for that. So only a licensed professional, such as your psychiatrist, can issue an an ESA letter. It's like a prescription for your emotional support animal. They do not have to be trained, but service dogs go through a very intensive training. So ESAs do not have to be trained. They can be trained in basic obedience, but they really don't need to be trained. They can just be there as a pet. ESAs are not, and I'll repeat this, not, I'm not being rude here to anyone who has an emotional support animal. I fully am supportive of you and your support animal, but ESAs are not welcome in non-pet friendly public places. So they are welcome in pet friendly places only, such as PetSmart, pet stores, and wherever else you can take your dog. But they are not welcome in any other place that I would be taking my service dog, or any service dog handler would be taking their service dog. This is a major, major issue for everyone. And most service dog teams, and I imagine I will run into it as well, we have major issues with ESA animals, because as much as, and I will admit, I did buy a vest off of Wish or Amazon, because it was cheap, and as Ezio is growing, he will grow with the vest as well, so I needed something cheap. So I have bought a vest, and that's what most people with ESAs do. They will buy a vest off of Amazon or wherever else online, and they will represent it as an emotional support animal or as a service animal, when it's realistically, it's like, I will say most people who buy them, they will have a pet dog just to take it anywhere with them. It's a pet dog. Some people with ESAs do that as well and represent them as ESAs, but they think they can take their emotional support animal into the store with them, which is realistically not a thing. So with emotional support animals, they provide comfort. the difference between them and a service animal is there to mitigate, I guess, or mitigate. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm totally butchering that. But a service animal is there to help a person with disabilities. They are specifically trained to do tasks such as deep pressure therapy. So that's more, so they, like, the difference between that and emotional support animal. This is a very confusing one right here. A psychiatric service dog, which is partly what Ezio was going to be. So a psychiatric service dog and an emotional support dog is also a very confused thing in the service dog world. There's a lot of people that think that the public out there, that believe that psychiatric service dogs are not service dogs and they're just emotional support animals. So I'm going to clarify what the difference is between a certified service dog and a emotional support dog. So a psychiatric service dog is for post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorders, and depression and other things like that. So they are tasked to mitigate that disability. Service animals are only provided for people who are disabled. You have to be legally disabled to qualify for a service animal. So I cannot speak. Psychiatric service dogs, they will perform deep pressure therapy. They will alert to either anxiety attacks or a post-traumatic episode. They can guide away from crowds. They'll do blocking from people coming from behind or wherever. They will guide you out of a crowd and take you to go sit. So those are just some of the things. Like I said, I'm not completely familiar on it, so I'm still learning on my way of training here, but those are some of the tasks that psychiatric service dogs perform. I'm sure there's many other tasks that they do perform that I didn't list off, but emotional support animals are completely different. Emotional support animals are literally just to be there and provide comfort. Comfort is not a task. So emotional support animals, again, they're not public access. They do not have public access rights whatsoever, except for pet-friendly areas. So I'm trying to figure out more to talk about on ESAs, but those are usually the biggest issues we have is with emotional support animals and people not understanding the difference between the service animals and the emotional support animals. So there's a lot of... Okay, so now that we've spoken about that, we can now go on to talk about fake registries here and in America. I know that's an ongoing issue for Americans, is with the ADA law, there is no registry, there's no certification. All of the certifications in America are fake. So they do have a lot of ESAs walking into stores and attacking service dog teams, and unfortunately people don't understand that when they bring their emotional support animal that's untrained and not socialized well, or just their pet dog in general, when they bring it in and throw a vest on it that says service dog because they got it off of Amazon, they do not understand that they're ruining a disabled person's life by having their dog come in and attack their legit service dog. They do not understand that, and it's very sad. There's so many service dog animals that have been washed because of an attack, and people don't understand that. Like, this is why you should not bring your pet in to a public area where a service dog team may be. Like, it's so important not to do this. I cannot stress this enough. So many dog teams get washed, or miniature horse teams get washed because they get attacked by a pet. It's irresponsible, and it's incredibly disrespectful for anyone who has a service animal. This is their lifeline. Their service dog is their lifeline. We go through hell enough just trying to deal with people in general, trying to pet our dogs, harassing us, taking photos of us without permission, pointing at us. I mean, it's hell enough with people telling us, oh, how lucky we are to take our animals with us. They don't understand the harassment and stress we go through. But please just leave your animals at home if they're just pets or emotional support animals. Please leave them at home unless you're taking them to a pet-friendly area. Please, please, please. I cannot stress this enough. We do thank you so much for the people who do listen to this and leave their pets at home. It's so important to us that you do. It can't be stressed enough. But I'll probably do a second video. Sorry, I'm going way off topic here, but I have to end this video soon. So I will probably do a second video to do with laws and regulations. I just kind of wanted to crack down on the emotional support animals and teach the difference between that. So my next video will probably be, I would like to do a kids video because I've looked online on YouTube and whatnot, but I can't seem to find a good cartoon or anything that really shows how to handle a service dog team, like when you see them. I mean, what I mean is, like, for children, they don't understand what to do or what not to do. So I'm probably going to do a video on that because I've seen the cartoons where they show what a service animal is, but they don't show that you shouldn't pet the dog, you shouldn't talk to the dog, you shouldn't make kissy noises at it, you shouldn't make eye contact with it. They don't kind of explain any of that. They kind of explain how they help people, which is great, but it's very important that kids know not to touch the dog or whine or cry because they can't touch the dog. But unfortunately, realistically, we have more issues with the adults than the children. There's more children that understand not to touch the dog than there is adults who don't understand. But that's going to be my next video probably, or it might be the equipment video, or I might just put them in both. So thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day, and hope to see you again next week. Bye.